Yo, it's Mel from Rap Rankings. To hear the full episode this clip comes from and all the other episodes, stop by raprankings.com or search Rap Rankings on your favorite podcast platform.
Track 4, Run This Town, produced by No ID and Kanye West, featuring Rihanna and Kanye West. 6+.
4.
All right. So I can't wait to break this thing down because so let's start here. This is basically a Rock Nation like announcement.
Commercial.
Yeah, commercial. Jay apparently told Tim Westwood the nature of the track in an interview. He said, "We basically run this town. It's myself, Rihanna, and Kanye. Pretty much it." So, of course, you know, this is Rihanna on this. This is her first musical appearance following the thing that happened with Chris Brown earlier that year. So that's noteworthy. This is her first time back after that unfortunate incident. And Jay, you know, he acknowledges this is like a Rock Nation thing. So he said that now this is going to be hilarious. The Def Jam contract had run its course, ending in a great way, which never happens. And this felt like the right message to send on the Blueprint 3. The song's about the formation of Rock Nation, planting our flag in the ground. Me aligned with the two greatest artists that I found, Kanye West and Rihanna, the growth of us. It was originally a Rihanna demo, but I took it in another direction. I wanted the whole song to feel like a march, a battle cry. Muhammad Ali had the shortest poem ever. Me, we. My statement was, we are. Maybe you didn't hear me. We are. Yeah, I said it. We are. Okay. Just with that said, and I never knew that, it made so much sense. It's so clearly a Rihanna demo to me. Like now with my artist / music industry brain, which wasn't developed in 2009, it's so obvious to me. Back then I had no way to really think otherwise. I was just like, it's just a pop rap record to me, but I can totally hear it now. Now, Rihanna, though, is like really the secret hero of this record, even though unfortunately she had to go along with it. Kanye, apparently what happened, at a Watch the Throne listening session in 2011, Jay explained how Kanye had originally argued against releasing Run This Town as a Blueprint 3 single when he became convinced that the song wasn't a hit after watching the reaction to the record at a barbecue hosted by the Heavy Hitters, which is hilarious to me because my theory, of course the barbecue wasn't trying to hear this. Black folks ain't trying to hear this at no barbecue.
By the way. I can't believe I'm gonna say this. So back in like 05, 06, when I used to DJ and try to get gigs around like Queens and Long Island, myself and David, who would promote with me, we would go to these spots and my line was, "Yeah, we're with Heavy Hitters."
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We're not with fucking Heavy Hitters.
Narrator, Moulz was not with Heavy Hitters.
I got a couple gigs off that Heavy Hitters drop, though, for sure.
God. Aren't y'all glad we're out the game? We're not terrorizing y'all anymore. Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, hey, I guess it worked a couple of times for you, so I'm glad.
No, I just heard it. It's the first time I've heard Heavy Hitters uttered on this show, and was reminded. I used to say we're with Heavy Hitters.
Well, the Heavy Hitters barbecue was not trying to hear this record. And of course, insecure Kanye would have been the first to be like, "Nah, Jay, it's not a hit. I played it. They wasn't feeling it, fam." You know, but it ended up going number 2 on the Billboard. And that should say everything because it's clearly off the backs of white folks. It's a pop record. It makes sense that it was, listen to the chorus, you know, and we'll get into that. But so last thing I'm going to say here, No ID said, of course, initially a Rihanna record. She came to Hawaii and they did it. They did a few records
Hawaii.
for her.
I'm so sick of Hawaii.
Hawaii
with
is so
these
much.
people.
They run to Hawaii and you know why they run to Hawaii? Because they know nobody's going to tell them, this is a bad idea.
They go there, they threw Mr. Hudson.
They retreat to Hawaii so nobody can tell them anything.
That's right.
So apparently they did a few records. 2 of them became Run This Town, and apparently Drake's Find Your Love. She came down, cut the
another
record.
Sabotage by Kanye.
Whenever we do Thank Me Later, we'll talk about it. She came down, cut the record, and then she passed on it. And he said they were all like, "What? You're passing?" Listen, Rihanna, she knew this was some BS, bro.
BS, man.
She know. So apparently Jay heard it and said, "This is my record now." Then Kanye heard it and said, "Nah, I don't give Jay that record. That's my record." Of course, these two are fighting over Run This Town. Of course they are. So apparently Jay hits No ID and says, "Yo, don't let Kanye get that record." So Jay got it. Kanye ended up doing a verse. He said it was a memorable moment. We won a Grammy, but when you have those 3 on a record, you're supposed to win a Grammy. That was a monster that didn't sound like a commercial record. It was a pure hip hop beat and darker than a traditional pop record.
No.
Look, you know what it is?
Lying.
It's cheesy.
Lying.
Let's get into it. It's a monstrosity, bro, that clearly should have been left on the floor where Rihanna dropped it.
I want to talk about this beat first. This feel it coming, and that fucking piano.
Let's be clear. It has energy. It's propelled by that like dark energy. But you know what? To me, it's that raucous, drunk white girl energy. All right, that's what this beat is. Like, it's just, like, Rihanna knew. She was the only one who had her head on straight when she scrapped this. And of course, Jay and Kanye, Kanye's an aesthetic boy, always trying to get the white demographic. Jay is going through his midlife crisis. Of course they're fighting over this.
Kanye. Jay's going, he doesn't put himself on the album
This
cover.
is the point where Jay lost his mind and started listening to Kanye.
He started following Kanye's lead, for sure.
Right, because Kanye, and I get it, because Kanye's starting to become more successful in a solo sense.
Play that second audio snippet that said hate, and we could play it now, actually.
All right, we'll play it now.
So Jay used to think Kanye's bars were lacking. His words, not mine.
Here's the snippet, folks, right here.
He's the complete package now. He's working on his craft as an MC. In the beginning, his flow wasn't as tight. It was like more stretched out. It wasn't just, he didn't hit everything, all the time, like the 1, 2, like, his flow was like, was lacking in my opinion. In this last album, everything came together. The song was great. The hook was incredible, and the lyrics, like he really takes a lot of pride in what he writes. And that happiness is seeing his evolution, from the first album to now. It's like, wow.
So this was from a 2008 interview that he did.
Okay, so like right before this album.
After American Gangster and Graduation, but before 808 and Blueprint 3.
Right. So, like, Kanye, he's listening to him now because, as he stated, like, he's felt like he was coming into his own. College Dropout won a Grammy. Late Registration won a Grammy. He's officially a solo star.
Right. Jay has sort of just at this point come to respect him.
Because you can hear it early on. Like, he probably barely wanted to sign him. He's on last call. Kanye, you first and foremost making me do this, muff. Like, he was the irritating little brother for the early part of their relationship. And then somewhere along the line, I think he gained a respect for Kanye. And now we're in, like, the falling action of the plot where he's like, you know what? I should have listened to my first instinct. Never should have trusted this guy. Because now, like, they don't even talk anymore. At least on the surface, it seems like. But, Rihanna was the only one who knew. And the song went number 2 because she sounds great, as usual, performance-wise. But the lyrics are for white people, and it had 2 high-profile rappers on it. It went number 2 not because it's a great record. It went number 2 because of everyone who was involved. And that makes sense because, folks, if you don't know, the music industry isn't about great records. Okay, but that's a convo for another time. You know, so
yeah, these lyrics. Listen,
it's cheesy, bro.
I'm as big a Rihanna fan as any. I celebrate her catalog. She's got great records on across her albums that aren't singles that like I enjoy and listen to. So like, do not take this as an indictment of Rihanna. Okay, I like plenty of Rihanna songs.
I mean, she should be exonerated, if anything, because she wanted to leave this thing on the floor.
Well, yeah, she wanted.
And then Jay and Kanye brought it back to life, and she's on Rock Nation, so she's like has to kind of go along with this.
Well, yeah,
she's
so
already
I'm not gonna like
record.
ride on Rihanna right now by any means, and she does sound great, you know. I don't care about what she's saying. It's nonsense to me.
Well, here's the thing: there are two specific portions she has. I mean, other than the that's like part of the catchiness of the record, I guess. You know, folks.
They were doing a lot of that
pop,
hey shit at the time in the pop music for sure.
I mean, come on, this was the era, you know. Yeah. So listen, you know, it wasn't as good as that though. But there are two sections: the intro, the feel it coming in the air, all of that. I'm actually okay with lyrically, like that. It's a dangerous love affair, like cheesy, but like it actually makes sense for the beat
because it all leads up to the only thing that's on my mind is who's going to run this town tonight.
Which
that's
is
the
ridiculous.
Only thing on your mind is who's.
What is that? Like, why are you thinking about that? Like, so, like, look, are Moulz Mel taking this too literally? Are we? But look, she said it. Like, so I have to ask, so who's like walking around? The only thing that's on your mind is who gonna run this town tonight?
Hey, Rihanna, how you doing? I'm doing all right. I'm thinking about who's gonna run the town tonight.
You know, like, what are we talking about? You know, but here's what bothers me, because that's the intro.
I'm sorry, it's stupid. Maybe she didn't even write it. She doesn't write her own music.
All right, somebody else wrote. But the chorus is what bothers
I'm almost
me.
guaranteeing you a Swedish person wrote that. And she's reciting it. And then she
shots
probably
at the Swedes,
recited it and was like, this is nonsense. And then you have these two,
Jay and Kanye.
Yeah, these two old men like, no, it's not nonsense. It's brilliant. Like, Jay, if you just want a Rihanna feature, ask.
You know, right. Isn't she your artist technically? Just... You know, you could probably pull some industry bullying and just force her to, you know, not that you should, but yeah. But the intro section that she's singing doesn't bother me as much as the chorus. Listen to this, man. Life's a game, but it's not fair. I break the rules, so I don't care. So I keep doing my... Now, this is important. So I don't care. So I keep doing my own... You can't go from so to so. Like, it's bad... So I keep doing my own thing, walking tall against the rain.
I always think of Walking Tall remake with The Rock when she says that.
Yeah, walking tall, holding a 2x4 against the rain. Victories within the mile, almost there, don't give up now.
Oh my goodness.
Who's singing that, bro? Who's reciting that?
So overly wordy.
Ew. I mean, just not that. It's just so, what's the word to use? Like, what's the word? Schmaltzy.
Schmaltz, yeah.
Yeah, Victor, almost there. I think, like, bro, I'm at a concert talking about, imagine like a 1,000 people. Victories within the mile, almost there, don't give up. What? Don't give up now?
Listen, that might be fire cool. if the pop punks take this, though.
Well, right. It's a white people right. Now, if they took victories within the mile, almost there, don't give up now. That would be dope.
With some hard, like, fast, you know.
Oh, listen, Moulz Mel, man. Listen,
actually,
that's a hit.
Hold up. Hit. Run This Town pop punk. I'm looking it up right now. This can't wait. Oh, wait. Yes.
What? It exists?
Yes. Please give us 30 seconds or so of this. I just want to hear what it sounds like.
All right, let's see.
Listen, something
Punk
like
goes pop 3.
Yeah, pop goes
Miss
punk.
May I run this town.
Okay, we want to talk about Schmaltz. It's a dangerous love affair. Come on, this is a Jay-Z album.
So pop punk. We need this though in pop punk form. Here we go. I'm gonna play a bit of this. Here we go.
DraftKings Sportsbook.
Oh, not
Land of fitness
DraftKings.
offers. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Make it
Trying to
rain.
take me money. All right, here we go. Another ad. H&M.
Wait, was that JPEG Mafia? I was expecting more small penis energy from the vocals, and like,
Oh, this is like metal.
oh, he's screaming now though.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. All right, that's enough. Just sounds like noise now.
I thought it'd be like kind of, you know, what am I thinking? A Good Charlotte?
Yeah,
Green
Fallout
Day?
Boy,
Like,
Good Charlotte,
Fallout
like,
Boy.
Definitely a little like preppier and poppier.
Life's a game, but it's not fair. Break the rules, so I don't care. I keep doing my like. This would have been such a great pop punk record, but
And the only time
they
you're
made
supposed
this.
to do like the death metal voice is when you do the "Who's gonna run this town tonight?" That's when you do the screamo shit.
This down tonight? Yeah, you know, come on, but they messed up.
They messed up. Well, fuck them and fuck this record. Fuck this town. Fuck this town. That's what I told my boy CBG this week. He said, "What do you think of Run This Town?" I said, "Fuck this town."
Anyway, the two guys, they pick up Jay talking about "We Are." Yeah, I said it. We are. This is Rock Nation. Pledge your allegiance. First of all, no, this is so not as cool as Rockefeller was. I'm not pledging my allegiance
I don't
to
like
Rock
Rock
Nation.
Nation. It's weird. And-
Rockefeller was cool. Y'all had
for
Beanie
sure.
Siegel, Memphis
You got the
Bleak.
chain with that
You
logo
got
on it too.
The chain. You had my dog Emil. Shout out to Emil.
Oh, by
You
the
know?
way, he's doing the, black cars, all black everything. And our girls are blackbirds riding with a Dillinger. So if you don't know, that's a reference to the 2009 film Public Enemies with Johnny Depp, where he played gangster John Dillinger. And the Blackbirds, there's something he calls Marion Cotillard, who plays his love interest, I believe, like his Blackbird based on like an old jazz record. So bye Blackbird.
I like
think.
that
So-
Blackbird. There's actually Joey Alexander. I like his rendition of Blackbird.
Now, here's
shout
my
out to
problem.
Okay.
Usually when we reference gangster films in hip-hop, which is a common theme, especially in Jay-Z's music, I mean, he did do the tie-in American Gangster that we covered last week on the show. I think that they're obviously, like, this is not a tie-in with the film Public Enemies. Shouldn't we wait a little bit to see if this film enters the gangster pantheon? Because it didn't. This film is mostly forgotten. I went to see it in the theater, and I believe we got kicked out.
Why?
We were just politely asking people throughout the first hour of the film to just to stop heckling the movie. Like, we wanted to see the movie. They were heckling.
And they kicked y'all out?
Well, it turned into a thing where someone got up and got all, like, myself and my friend and the hecklers kicked out because the hecklers turned violent on us. And then they kicked us both out of the movie. I did get a ticket to return to the theater at a later date, but I guess they just wanted us off the premises for the time being. And I never saw past the first hour.
Run the town tonight.
I never saw past the first hour and change of this movie, I don't think.
Wow.
But it wasn't very good, and people don't really remember it.
I certainly don't.
When he's talking about our girls are blackbirds riding with they Dillingers, when he's talking about the Dillinger, also the gun, don't even ask me how. But
Right.
It's like, come on, John Dillinger, like Public Enemies, nobody saw this film.
Midlife Crisis J. He's
I
like,
get
oh, it's
more
the
in
new
depth
movie.
if you boys
I got to
really reel
reference
enough.
the new movie. It just came out. I called, what, Movie Phone? Y'all heard about Movie Phone? You call the number and they tell you the show times. It's pretty neat. Back in my day, we didn't have that.
I miss Movie Phone.
Listen, that boy Paul, he was on the Kingdom Come. He does an excellent movie phone voice.
Hello and welcome to Movie Tone, brought to you by American Express and something.
You gotta get Jay. He's pranked people with this a bunch of times. He's like, "You've selected Aquila and the Bee." It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Shout out.
I used to call Movie Phone just to listen to the trailers, because sometimes you could get a preview. You'd see what the showtimes are at the theaters. You could press a button to get like a little audio trailer.
Yeah.
And I would sit on the phone and like, oh man, what's this? Beep. And I just listened to the trailer in the phone.
Reminds me of, one of my favorite stories about how boy Prince, R.I.P., used to stand outside of McDonald's and sniff the air because he couldn't afford no phone.
No one drops gems like Moulz Mel. Nobody has those anecdotes and that we remember such specific things.
We have a wealth of trivia on this show,
Yeah, Jay-Z's stinking up the joint over here.
I get more in depth if you boys really real enough. This is La Familia. I'll explain later. But for now, let me get back to this paper. I'm a couple bands down and I'm trying to get back. Okay, look, you're rapping about explaining later. You're like making like secret society illusions, admitting you're broke. It's like, but I thought you were done with rap. You run the map now.
Broke.
You got political connects. Aren't you part of the reason the president's
You signed
back?
that $150 million deal with Rock Nation. What are you talking about?
Yeah, surely you ain't filling these couple bands. What do you mean you're trying to get back? I thought you were, but apparently this is what happens. Or what happened? He said, I gave Doug a grip and lost a flip for 5 stacks. So what that means is that the then Universal CEO, Doug Morris, he gave him $5 million to buy out of his contract and start Rock Nation. So like, apparently that's what how rich are you? You felt that $5 million.
He just signed a $150 million deal.
I don't know what he's talking about.
That's 3 Chappelle Show season 3 and 4 deals in one deal. And you just got to go around playing the hits. You said it yourself. You don't have to make albums anymore.
This
isn't a record where Jay's going to spaz out lyrically anyway. It's
a miserable affair.
Wow, exactly. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and of course he won't let this thing go. Starts verse 2, we are. Yeah, I said it, we are. That's not cool. That's not cool. All right. Yeah, I said it, we are. Like, what do you mean? Like you said something profound. Like, yeah, I said it, we are running this. I don't want to run this town. What are you talking about? There's so many better things to do than run this town. And just, you can call me Caesar in a dark Caesar. Please follow the leader. So Eric B, we are. Microphone fee. It's like, no. Leave rap alone. You said you don't run it anymore. Also, you never did. You're very Triple H about that. But the output even shows that.
The new ad-lib, the
yeah, it's like you never ran rap. Now you want to be microphone fiend. You don't know what you want to do. Listen, here's the thing. I like some of the non-canon Jay songs. What does he know about post-retirement albums? Okay? You want to be out the game, but then you're a microphone fiend. You want to buy out of your contract, but then you want to start a label and still be a rapper. And then he's talking about Margiela. It's the beginning of the end. It's truthfully, Jay.
The bros at the table,
you gotta something full of fellas. Yeah, like
I'm not feeling this.
Here's what's pathetic. So we gotta verse 3, the Kanye feature. So I'm gonna lay all this out if you would allow, and then you can interject. So
I'll just let you go, and then my thoughts are brief, succinct, and brief. That's it.
So here's the thing. To me, I think, and I've seen a lot of people agree. I agree. Now I give this song a 6+. I don't like this song, but Kanye washed Jay on here. But it's not because his verse is good. It's just that much more arresting than Jay. And I'll say this. This is one of Kanye's all-time Kanye-ist verses. Now, let's revisit what that means, because I explained in the Blueprint 2 on the bounce what Kanye being Kanye entails. It means the verse, it's like, He's not technically sound as an MC. It's borderline juvenile writing, but it possesses a certain strange magnetism that despite all of that, you still like it as a result of his confidence and conviction. He can sell you on nonsense, even as you know it's nonsense. Now, I said that in the blueprint too. You know what? I have an addendum. And 16-year-old me would be shocked to hear me sound like the snarky know-it-all psychoanalyzer white person I'm about to sound like, because I used to like this verse. But here we go. I'll add that Kanye's whole shtick is appealing to basic primal human instincts, because that's all he is, at least on the surface. I don't know what he's like behind closed doors, but in front of all of us, his persona, his whole shtick is that he's the worst of us. He's the worst of humanity. Kanye West, the persona, is a marketing and selling of the worst of humanity. His MO is resigning to the mess of the human condition and positioning it as, hey, I'm just telling the truth. This is free thinking. This is real. You know, I don't censor myself. This is love. No, it's just not trying. Be better. But you know why we gravitate towards him? Because sometimes that's what we want to be. Sometimes we want to give in to our primal instincts. We don't want to try. We want to wild out. We just want to be the animals that we are. But for the sake of community, society, the people we love, the things we hope to accomplish, we rein that in most of the time, because society collapses if we don't. Because humanity would be extinct quickly. We'd all kill each other. Look, I don't want to do a Kanye college course. I already hate psychoanalyzing. I feel like I'm in that territory. I don't know that man. But if you want proof, it's all in the verse. Kanye's whole thing that he's selling us on is like the realness of just like being an uninhibited human, which is really just being unhinged. There's no true brilliance to that. People position Kanye as like, this is this brilliant, you know, unafraid, fearless, free thinker. No, he's just like, he's a kid who doesn't have anyone around to tell him what not to do. And he monetized that. Sometimes to great effect. Because sometimes we want to give into that. That's part of being human. But you cannot follow in his footsteps completely. Kanye's shtick is not designed to be followed to that degree. But unfortunately, we got Kanye stands, we got people buying Yeezy clothes, we got Kanye to the .com, we have constant Kanye conversations on Twitter, and it's all a result of people buying into what they see as this great approach to life. Say what?
Buying into a lie that this person is a genius.
No, he's just petulant. And we all want to be petulant sometimes. But he's petulant all the time.
Especially as we get older and we understand there's certain social contracts in place that we and it's not to stifle you.
It's not to, what does he even call himself? The calm yay. It's not to make you the calm yay. It's really to protect yourself and your own, peace in this rough
Learn how
world
to play the game
of
and become a victim of it, basically.
Look, I hate it too, but it's all in his verse, bro.
I gotta say something about this verse, okay?
Go ahead.
It's gonna be very short. Yeah, that was great, by the way. You had a great analysis there.
Thanks.
Yeah, I like that point about him being the worst of us, and I think he's himself has expressed that in songs like "Runaway," for example.
Yeah, right.
So I think he'd be the first to say it. But let me address this verse in particular. So this is around the time. This is 2009. We're not yet at Twisted Fantasy, but we're getting there. We'll be there in a year and some change. He's in Hawaii. We know about Hawaii.
Yeah.
This is like, Kanye's very irritating to me at this point. He's become very obnoxious on his records. This isn't the Kanye of old. This is not the Kanye we heard on Graduation, 808s.
The guy who would poke fun at himself. He could be endearing in that way. He was humorous.
He was an everything. Twins, French Montana, now he's really becoming like you said, like a petulant child. And this is the beginning of me starting to really not like Kanye West's like on record persona and delivery. This is where he starts to irritate me because, and it definitely continues into Watch the Throne, which we'll discuss this Saturday on Patreon. Right. Patreon.com/raprankings. And I'll just say this. So, like, the obnoxiousness and irritation is off the charts on this one for me. I don't think he has one single thing on this song other than the "What You Think I Rap For" to push a fucking Rav for. Like, that's an iconic line. I've heard people, like, when this is played out in public, a lot of people make a point of at least rapping that bar. It's the one line on the song overall that's a standout. I agree with you that he approaches the beat better than Jay. I hate how Jay raps on this song, but you're forgetting one thing.
Okay.
This is an Andre 3000 on International Players Anthem remix situation, if I've ever heard one. Jay doesn't rap on the same beat as Kanye West. Jay raps on, but Kanye gets the privilege of rapping on a piano for half of his verse.
Yeah, like the breakdown.
So you couldn't do "We Are" to that.
Yeah.
You know, so he approached the beat in a better way than Jay did, but I think apart from the Rap 4 line, you know, we're talking about 14 out of 16 bars on here that I think are weak.
Oh, and my God. Weak is an understatement.
You know, I got to tell you.
It's not a weak thing. It's weak is like something that's like, you know, it's like, it makes
all right,
sense.
Fine. They suck. You know, his rap sucks because I think Kanye sucks as a rapper. He only has a few shining moments throughout his career. He's not someone I'd look to for bars. And quite frankly, he's at the point in his career now where I'm annoyed. And I can't sugarcoat it. I'm annoyed by Kanye West in 2009 with this new style that he's bringing, this new delivery and approach, and I'm just not liking the attitude he's bringing on this one at all.
And, you know, and of course, we got it, and they say Moulz Mel, but his mom passed away. Yes, his mom did pass away, unfortunately.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's a dark moment. But what I want to say is that it's not like he necessarily flipped a switch and became this he's always been this guy. It's just the floodgates opened up.
It's turned up to 10 now for sure.
You know, and it's like that's what made it unbearable going forward. Because in the dose that we had been given, it was just enough for us to be on board.
And hey, he lost his mom and made 808s. I love 808s.
Which is great. It's an outstanding album, you know?
And there's some petulance on 808s. You know, there's petulance on a song like Heartless,
there's petulance
for example,
on every Kanye album.
Or you know? RoboCop. And yet, you know, these records do work for me. So it's not like, I don't think he's irritating yet in 08. 09 is the turn for me.
Bro, I mean, listen, folks, come on. If you like this Kanye verse, I implore you to think about what I said. It's fine to like it, but just call in 718-635-0743.
What are the other good bars other than "This is the fast life, we are on a crash course, what you think I rap for to push a fucking Rav for"?
I just want to know if they like this verse because of the thing I laid out, where they just connect with like the kid throwing a tantrum,
the aspirational
aspect of it all.
But right. Yeah, like the aspirational.
The aspirational
also,
can't
like,
tell me nothing. Like
he's done
me
this
against the world.
This is all he does though, and he's done it to greater effect throughout his career. Later, like beyond this album, he's done it better. Before this album, he's done it better.
Listen, I used to like the verse. Folks, if you still like the verse, I just want to know if it's because of the reasons I laid out. Call in. But I do have to question you 11 years later. Are you down with "It's crazy how you can go from being Joe Blow to everybody on your dick, no homo"? Y'all like that? Police escorts, everybody passports. This the life that everybody asks for. You know, and then it's the fast life. We are on a crash course. What you think I rap for to push a fucking rap for? But I know that if I stay stunting All these girls only gonna want one thing. I can spend my whole life goodwill hunting. Only good gonna come. This is good when I'm coming. Look, first of all, this ain't the life that everybody asks for. And according to you, later on in your career, this life sucks. Your whole thing is rallying against fame. You're always fighting paparazzi, literally, physically, yelling. Why would I want this?
What
Judging
happened to
from your
Pinocchio's
current
story?
state, Pinocchio's story, bro, which is great. It's like a 9 or a 10 to me, honestly. But judging from your current state, you made the wrong decision. Clearly, you are on a crash course, you know? So, I mean, at least you're aware of this, but like all of that said, why would I? And he's rapping about mood rings, you know, baby. Reebok, baby, you need to try some new things. Have you ever had shoes without shoestrings? Like, what other rappers talking about trying to change a color on your mood ring? It's like, folks, looking at where he is now.
I think Andre 3000.
Well, he can probably find a way to rap about it without it sounding,
if I'm not
ridiculous.
mistaken, he has a line about
he's an esoteric man. He can rap
like
about mood rings. Kanye raps about mood rings because he's a douche. You know, listen, if 16-year-old me could hear me now, I would think I would have defected. I'm a white person now. Irrationally hating Kanye, right? It's like, nah, Kanye is just a sucker.
I'm sorry, but this irrationally hating Kanye thing, this whole like, oh, it's just white people mad at like, you know, he's an outspoken black man. You know, it's funny that doesn't hold weight anymore. It doesn't hold water. Because he did something that people are like really mad at now, but he's always been an asshole. Let's just call it what it is.
You know, yeah. You know, and listen, I called him a sucker. I don't know that man. I call Kanye West, the persona, the product, the brand, a sucker.
What we've been presented thus far, whatever the brand, whatever we've been presented thus far as something that's meant to be consumed by the public, and yes, critiqued and analyzed.
Yeah.
Not just accepted as like the new fucking genius of time and space. Like, he's not the greatest rapper alive. He's not the best producer. What does he do exceptionally?
You know, yeah, just the final thing I'm going to say, just look where he is now. I'm going to say all of what he said in this verse, this is how you set yourself up for failure. Because look at where he is now. This is the blueprint, pun intended, to living fast and dying young. And if that's what you want, go ahead. I understand. I get the allure. You know, all the girls and
they're going to run this town tonight. But Rihanna unfollowed Kanye West on all platforms a couple years ago. Jay and Kanye don't talk anymore. Who's running the town now? Okay.
My God.
There is no town anyway. This is all stupid. You know, it's funny. I remember saying to someone, I was at a job, I think it was CVS, my second job ever, and we did truck days on Thursdays, and we'd unload all the boxes of shit off these pallets. And I remember like the boss was like power tripping one day, and they were being a real asshole. And I remember telling one of my coworkers, I was like, you know, when this person, this boss, shows up here to CVS, they're the fucking, like, they're the president of the United States. You know, they are the ultimate power here. They are, you know, the top brass around here. They call the shots. But the second they leave these doors, they're just another schmuck in the universe, right?
Right.
They have no power. The fucking manager at CVS, hey, good for you, pal. When you leave here, you're a schmuck like everybody else. So, you know, you want to run the town? Good, run the fucking town. When you leave the town, you're nothing. You're just some guy. All right? Fuck the town. Fuck the song. It's a 4. Let's move on.
Let's move on.
MoveOn.org.
I know we said all this, and it's like, Mel, a 6+. You really are the song liker.
He's a song liker.
Like, well, look, Rihanna sounds good. She's saying bad stuff, but she sounds good. I like the energy of the record to some degree, and
you don't feel no ways about it,
right? Which is why it's not a 5.
And you don't dislike it, but you don't like the song.
I don't like the song.
I'd say maybe from the sounds of things, it sounds like more of a 6-, but you do you, boo.
Oh, Jesus Christ! You know what? Jeez, oh God. Yeah. Before we move on that note, let me use the bathroom. Jesus. This man said boo to me.
Yo, it's Mel from Rap Rankings. To hear the full episode this clip comes from and all the other episodes, stop by raprankings.com or search Rap Rankings on your favorite podcast platform.